Hello and welcome to the first Doordash video on this channel. Today I'll be taking you through a 7-hour Thursday night shift in the inner and outer western suburbs of Melbourne. I'll go through each offer that came up on my screen and talk through some of the reasons why I did and didn't take them, and also go through how each order went that I did take. A little bit about me: I've been doing Doordash for about a year now, pretty consistently as a side hustle to a full-time job. I've decided to start making videos on these Doordash shifts just as a way of making them more engaging for myself and hopefully you as the viewer. This first video will just be a combination of screenshots I took of each order and me talking to the camera, recapping each order. Going forward, I'll hope to take footage of each order and incorporate that into each video as well, just to take you along for the ride with me. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. First one here, you can see, is a double order from this Woolworths pickup. So the shopping's already put together for me on these ones, and then I just go and see an attendant, pick up the bags and then deliver them. I decided to decline this and the next few as well, just where I'm driving to both the pickup and the two drop-offs, heavy traffic. That second drop-off as well, I know that that's a high-rise apartment area, just that house on the right, or the house icon on the right, and so I'm really not looking to kill my day first up by taking that. The price, like the pay as well, so $12, so I'm usually looking to earn hopefully 30 an hour if I just get back-to-back orders. 12, usually I just times that by 2 to get the amount of minutes I want it to take me to be worth my while. So decline this one. Next one, same exact amount of pay, longer distance, and the areas that they're going to marginally more attractive, but still didn't see it was worth my while at the time. This one here, same again, I feel like I'm repeating myself. This one needs no further explaining. We're looking at 25 items as well there between the two orders. That's 25 bags. It'll take me a while just to do that. Next, I didn't realize I went through this many orders without picking one, without accepting one. Not an attractive order. I've obviously rejected, I think, 5 orders if I'm not mistaken there. Realistically, I've just got to get myself on the board at this stage. By this time, I've already driven through a lot of the traffic that I was worried about to get to the pickup point. The key to this one was the second drop-off location. So I'm nearby a Coles there. And also the traffic from the first to the second drop-off, I'm heading back towards the city at the end of the day. So not anticipating there to be as much trouble to get there. The lowest you can get paid for an order is $5.50 for a single order. So just a quick Macca's trip. It kept me in the area I already was in. See, the dollars to kilometers ratio is also pretty good. This area during peak hour is a bit of a nightmare, especially if you're driving a car around. If you know the area, there's a one-way street. There's restaurants either side of that. Lots of heavy foot traffic. Really hard to find a park. At this time, it was about, as you can see, 4:30. So there's not too many people around. I've missed the school rush, and I'm before the dinner rush. So higher dollars to kilometers ratio, and again, dropped me off in a relatively decent area. Just accepted that one. Next up, we have an order I'm taking 100 times out of 100. It's a Coles shop and deliver. So this is where you go into the store as the dasher. The app gives you a list of products that the person's ordered. You go in, grab them, put them in your trolley or basket, and pay on what's called a Doordash red card. High dollars to kilometers ratio, small amount of items, so less can go wrong. So I grabbed that one straight away. Then I had this order come through. So really a bit of an ugly one. Ratio $5.50 the smallest order you can get, and doing over 3 kilometers was just enough to avoid doing. Then we have this order, so I've just rejected that order. I'm still taking a short break, so I've just parked up at a McDonald's. You can see here it's a minimum order, so 550, but I'm only doing 700 meters. It was actually delivering to that same university housing complex that I mentioned earlier, but just something to keep me going. I had a little 5-10 minute break without orders, so just wanted to get back on the road with this one. So this next order here, I didn't actually take this order on upon reflections. The second delivery there is on quite a main road. I actually went in on this order to check exactly where it was going, and the house was on the main road. Really, there's no area for parking. You have to park down a side street, busy area, at 5:30 in the afternoon. So I decided to avoid this one. My next order come through, and not a great one. So minimum order again. I actually had just passed the McDonald's that it's referring to, so it was on the right hand side of the road as I was driving, and I just passed the exit, so I couldn't really take this one anyway. This one, it's a decent pay, so $11.30, you know, it gives me 23 minutes theoretically if I want to make that $30 an hour. Pickup point I'm familiar with. It's on a busy street, but I'm pretty familiar, and I know where to get a decent park near there. And the distance it's quite a high distance, but the drop off point as well I'm generally familiar with, and it's pretty near other food areas, and the Coles isn't too far away. So decided to get this one. I could take, say, if you halved those, the pay and the kilometers, to, you know, say $6 for 4.5 kilometers. I'm probably not going to take it just because it only gives me 12 minutes to get that order done, but this gives me a bit more leeway there. I had to wait about 5 to 10 minutes for the food, which is it's kind of to be expected. I was that close to the restaurant when I took the order, so it is what it is. And I had to drive for a couple of minutes before I got this order. So as it came through, I was right next to the Coles itself. So $13 for 4 kilometers, only 5 items to worry about. Drop off point was a little bit out of where I wanted to be, but I'm never not taking this order. That's why you see the 10. It's 10 out of 10 times I'm taking that one. Except this order pretty much straight away. A nice pay to kilometers ratio there, and just a pick up from a Woolies. So it says 12 items. It ended up only being 2 or 3 bags. Sometimes that can be quite unreliable. It's either exactly the amount that it says, or it's, like I said, a quarter. So you just never know. As soon as I delivered that one, I got another very similar order. However, you can see the pay, you know, compared to the last one, that ratio is a little bit worse off, and it's just taking me into an area which is a bit of a dead end. Then we have an Oporto pickup, which I accepted. I was right near the pickup spot, so again, like a few orders ago, had to wait about 5 to 10 minutes to get this one, but then the ratio is pretty good, and I'm anticipating, you know, about 17 or 18 minutes for that to take me. Ended up being a bit longer. I was kind of getting myself further and further away from where I wanted to be over the last few orders I took. I decided to start heading back towards home, so heading out west, and in this situation, $1 per kilometre, just a Macca's order, so I knew by the time I got there it'd be ready for me, which it was, and then it dropped me off on near a main road, which would help me get back to where I wanted to be. So this order here, so anyone who's familiar with the area, at Melbourne, which is probably about 20 kilometers west of where I delivered the previous order. I took this order as I just needed to get the ball rolling once I'd gotten into a new zone. I arrived at the Guzman, it was flat out. There was another 3 people waiting before me for pickup orders. The poor girl who was dealing with all the delivery orders, she had a row of about, you know, 7 or 8 dockets just all lined up, and I could see my order was one of them. So it wasn't anywhere near ready. So I just decided to unassign this. And the next one was what I thought would just be a general order. It might even be a pain in the butt order, but it was a decent enough pay to kilometers ratio that I took it. So $7 there just for a general food pickup. Got to the store, the food was pretty much ready. Grabbed this one pretty quickly and delivered it in decent time. Definitely over the $30 per hour rate I'm looking for. Delivered that one, got this order come straight through. It was taking me sort of out of where I wanted to be, out of the main area, and only right around that $1 per kilometer mark. On top of that, the store La Porchetta is based in a busy shopping centre. We're a bit late here for it to be super busy, but I just didn't want to run the risk of getting there and having to wait 15-20 minutes for the pickup. Straight after that, this order came through, so just another nice Coles order. So a little less dollars than I'd probably like, but you'll see what ends up happening here is it sort of turned into a bit of a combo. So I grabbed that one, and then as I entered the store, this order came through, which I declined. You can see the drop-off point there is very far away, and this next order came through. So you can see what it's doing here. So it's adding on to the delivery that I had already taken. So that grey house is the one I've already got on my screen at the time. And then I've got to do another 3.8 kilometers here just to grab 6 more items for another $6.50 or whatever it is. After I dropped off at the first point, so you can see here my blue dot is at the first grey house icon. I've never had this happen before, but I just dropped that one off, and I think I was getting out of the car to drop it off, and I had this third Coles order come through. So it was asking me here to go back to the Coles after delivering the first order, grab the 2 items from this order, and then deliver that. I believe I ended up delivering it next, and then I delivered the second order third, if that makes sense. So essentially it was a $20+ run for less than 10 kilometers. So I had a little bit of wait after delivering that third delivery, and the next order I got was this order here. So typically wouldn't take this being 24 items for less than $10. Ended up having a look into the items. This person was just getting a bunch of soft drinks, and so yeah, ended up being a pretty quick order. It was probably less than the 20 minutes or so I was hoping it would take. I dropped that one off. I did a little bit of driving. I think it was probably about 5 minutes before I had this order come through. It was a bit of an awkward time in the night, so I usually like to finish, if I'm doing one of these full night runs, I'm going to be finishing about 10:30 or 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock is just when the latest Coles closes in the Melbourne area. I'm in a good spot to head home, but it's a bit too early. So had this order come through, under $1 per kilometer, but a fair portion of that was freeway driving, and the order was ready when I got there. So that was handy. That was a nice easy one. And also I ended up getting a $5 tip on top of that. So thanks to that customer. That sort of put me in a good headspace. It was 10 o'clock, as you can see on the screenshot there. And so I decided I was either going to do one or no more orders. And then I had this last one come through. So just a Macca's order. I was heading in the direction of travel I'd need to go to get home. So just did that one to finish off. So yeah, that brings us towards the end of the video. Bit of a mixed bag of a shift tonight. Including a couple of new challenges that I'd never experienced before doing Doordash, so that was quite interesting. Just to look at some of our totals over the course of the night. In total, I earned $146.60, including the $5 tip towards the end of the video. Our mileage for the night was 126 kilometers. On top of that, I finished my shift quite close to home, so that was a bit of a bonus. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you've got any questions, please be sure to comment them, and I'll get back to obviously all of them. My plan is to hopefully upload 1 video a week At the moment, the editing for this video has taken me 3 or 4 nights, so once I get better at doing that, videos will be much more consistent. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time.